Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to On Pit Road Racing. Season number 14 is ready to kick off in just seconds. Today, NASCAR Craftsman truck driver and now team owner Spencer Boyd will join us at 4:30 this afternoon. Coming up at 5, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion Derrike will join us live from Charlotte, North Carolina. On Pit Road Racing, season number 14 starts right now.
He's going to do a little arc to try to get under you. 100 feet back, making that dive. Too cool here.
That 38 is no matter what I do, he's today.
Race friends, it's time for the fastest 2 hours in motorsports. It's time for On Pit Road Racing, right here, right now, live from downtown Las Vegas on the flagship station, the WCOBM television network. Our race team will have all the latest news, updates, and interviews for the world of motorsports. So buckle up and pull those belts tight. The green flag is in the air, and it's time to go racing. And here are the hosts of On Pit Road Racing, Alan Michaels and the First Lady, Diane Fox.
Alan Michaels at the WCOBM studios. We are live from downtown Las Vegas, and just like I said, season number 14 kicks off today. Looking good out there, and we are so happy to be along with you, man. Each and every Wednesday, got some brand new exciting news here for you. Non-Pit Road Racing will not only air on Wednesdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m., but 2 more dates have been added to this show. On Mondays, we'll have a special 1-hour show for you, man. My good friend from Daytona Rock Station, that's right, Mr. Phil, the Scratch with a K Cummings will join me on Mondays. That's right, from 4 to 5 p.m. And then, of course, on Wednesdays, we'll do our super show for 2 hours featuring stock cars and motorcycle racing. Definitely going to be good with that. And, man, we're just looking. And, of course, on Fridays, our great show is going to be wrapping up. Scratch and I will be doing a 30-minute special. Scratch is going to be live from Daytona Beach coming up for the 500. He'll be at the Tiki Bar. So we've got all kinds of news and information for you. Great show lined up for you today. Coming up at 4:30 this afternoon, man, NASCAR Craftsman truck driver and now team owner Spencer Boyd will be joining us live from Charlotte, North Carolina, from his headquarters. And then coming up at 5 o'clock today, man, we have something really special. The 1990 Daytona 500 champion Derrike will be live with us from Charlotte, North Carolina. Derrike's got a brand new book out. It's called Cope. He's got a podcast that's really doing well with motorsports. We're going to talk racing with Derrike, what it was like to win the Daytona 500, because that race is coming up. I've got some special questions that I've never asked Derrike before that we're going to wrap into today. So we're definitely going to have a good time out there. One quick commercial break from our good friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and we get her kicked underway right after this, everybody.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster, like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race, it's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Well, you never know what's going to go wrong. We've seen what happened a couple of years ago. Man, appreciate the comments out there. They said a good cream video today. We're appreciating it. Oh, somebody said, who's this standing beside us? Well, that's Leapin' Lenny, man. He is the official mascot of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, and he's going to be here with us, and, of course, next week. All kinds of great things. Let's get it started off for you. Of course, on Pit Road Racing, live from the WCOBM. We are live downtown, 450 Fremont Street. Like we said, this show airs each and every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. Our specialty shows on Monday from 4 to 5, and then our season there looking good on Fridays with that big show, 4 to 4:30. Scratch with AK will be joining us. Hey, man, why don't you send out some great stuff out there? This show is being streamed live on the WCOBN.TV network, and it's also being streamed on our Facebook channels, YouTube, LinkedIn. Just check around for On Pit Road Racing, and you'll find it somewhere out there. Our show partners for this year, man, looking so good. The Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street, in the heart of downtown, just on the other side of the WCOBM, folks. You get more information at the World Wide Web at gokartslasvegas.com. Woods Family Sandwiches, WFSandwiches.com. Man, if you're looking for a great deli out there, great food, man, definitely stop by and check that out at Woods Family Sandwiches. You can get them online at WFSandwiches.com. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's our home track, LVMS.com. Of course, NASCAR's coming back here. The Bull Ring's getting ready to fire up. NHRA's coming to town. LVMS.com. That's where you're getting all your tickets and information. Red One Scooters, their official scooter company of On Pit Road Racing. When we need some help in the pits, these guys provide it for us. You can provide it at redonescooters.com. Hammer and Harry's, man, formerly it used to be the Dick's Last Resort. It's Hammer and Harry's. They're located right across the street from us at 450 Fremont Street. And finally, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. That's what we worked this show for. It's what we're all about right here. Let me pull the tennis shoe out, show it to you really quick. Real quickly, here's your chance for your business to come along, because each one of the businesses that I described have all taken part of this about buying tennis shoes. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a 501c3 nonprofit, folks, okay? We provide heart shoes. That's what these are right here, okay? You see them in my hand? We've been around to schools and missions and churches here in California and Las Vegas, all over the country, in this part of the area, man, handing out these shoes. We don't charge anybody for these things. We just simply roll up at different locations and start putting shoes on people's feet. Well, this is how your business can be involved with this, okay? We do not sell advertising time on this show. If you would like to be a part of this program to get your commercials run, your TV spots run, all you need to do is make a donation to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame for the heart shoes. 100% of this money goes to this foundation, to this nonprofit. 100%. We don't take any money for this thing. No administration fees for this. 100% of your donation goes to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. And a special big show coming up next week, and we'll get all into that. So if you want more information, hey, just give us a shout at 702-803-0875, how your business can be part of On Pit Road Racing, donating to a good nonprofit that really helps out men, women, and children. More information coming up for you about that. It's real easy. Just give us a shout at 702-803-0875, Monday through Friday during business hours, or you can drop us a line at onpitroadracing.com, okay? Hey, today's special guest, NASCAR Craftsman truck driver Spencer Boyd's going to join us at 4:30 p.m. Also joining us, Derrike, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion. We're going to talk racing with him. We're going to talk the podcast, his new book. Man, and also some other great specialty shows we're putting together for everybody. The Life and Times of Dick Trickle, Davey Allison, and Swede Savage. Also, motorcycle racing legend Sammy Tanner is going to be on there too. So we're going to talk to those folks. So, man, just some great stuff coming up. If you'd like to be a guest on the program, real easy, drop Diane Fox a line at onpitroadracing@gmail.com. Tell us where you're racing at, what division you're in, what you're doing, and we'll get you on the program, because we love our local racers, whether they're here in Las Vegas or they're racing around the country, all over the United States and all over the world. In fact, we've got some European people coming on the show this year, so we're real happy about that. Hey, real quickly, just to get you some news and notes, NASCAR is going to be back in action coming up Sunday, February 4th, 8 p.m. It's going to be the Busch Light Clash out in LA at the Coliseum. Regular season starts on February 15th, 7 p.m. Thursday, going to be the Blue-Green Vacations dual races, the first and the second at Daytona. And, of course, the 500 is going to kick off on Sunday, February 18th, 2:30 p.m. for the Daytona 500. The 17th of February, we've got Xfinity Racing, the United Reynolds 300 from Daytona. And, of course, Friday, February 16th, it's going to be fresh from Florida 250. That race is going to be kicking off at Daytona right there. So the trucks, the Xfinity, and the Cup Series all getting back in action coming up in the month of February at Daytona International Speedway. NASCAR returns back here to Las Vegas. All three series is March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Tickets are available for you at LVMS. Hey, the NHRA is going to be returning back to action March 7th through the 10th. It's a trip down to Florida in the Gator Nationals. NHR 4-wide returns back here to Las Vegas April 12th through the 14th at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You can get tickets right now at LVMS.com or the NHRA.com. IndyCar racing, open wheels for everybody out there. Well, you got March 10th, kicks off the 2024 IndyCar season. Going to be making another trip down to Florida. Actually, those two big series, one in Gainesville. This one's going to be down in St. Petersburg. It's the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, kicking it off in March 10th right here. F1, you're kicking off March 2nd. Going to be the season opener in Bahrain. F1's going to make its second stop here in Las Vegas, coming up on November 21st through the 23rd of 2024. World of Outlaws, man, the Case Construction Late Model Series rolls onto the dirt. 4 big opening dates at Volusia County Speedway coming up this weekend, January 17th through the 20th. The NOS Energy opens their 2024 season at Volusia County Speedway. That all kicks under February 7th through the 10th, all right? So that's a look at really what's going on around the racing action there as far as all the big tracks getting kicked under, man. Our season's just about ready to go. And next week, we're going to talk about our local tracks, man. We want to go back east. Of course, we've got the Bull Ring here in Las Vegas. We've got Irwindale over in California. You've got Kern County Speedway over up in Bakersfield and over in that area. Of course, we'll go back east to some great tracks. The Madhouse, Winston-Salem, Bowman Gray Stadium. You can't beat any better Saturday night racing than that. How about Hickory Motor Speedway? All those great folks. Langley Speedway, South Boston, home of the fried bologna sandwich. I mean, just some great local racetracks around Bubba Raceway Park down in Florida. Of course, Volusia County Speedway. There are just all kinds of racetracks around the country, and we're going to be doing it for you. A couple of quick breaks here, man. When we come back, we've got some news and updates for you coming up in just about 20 minutes. It's NASCAR Craftsman truck driver and now team owner Spencer Boyd will join us live from Charlotte, North Carolina. That's all coming up, everybody. On Pit Road Racing is live from the WCOBM downtown Las Vegas. More right after this, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Good out there, boys. Join it right here, just about 12 minutes after the hour on Pit Road Racing, live from the WCOBM, downtown Las Vegas. Alan Michaels with you, Leaping Lenny here beside me. Diane will be back with us next week. Feel a little under the weather today, man. Woke up with a sore throat this morning, so we said there ain't no sense of just a coughing and cranking there. So Diane's back. She's monitoring the show, keeping up with guests and everything along the way. She'll be back with us next week, all right? Hey, little racing news and action for you. Chip Ganassi announced back in November that Linus Lindquist will be driving the number 8 American Legion Honda throughout the 2024 NTT IndyCar Series. Lindquist 24 signed a multi-year deal with Chip Ganassi Racing on August 31st, so he's going to be locked and loaded and ready to go for that. We've got more IndyCar news coming up for you. Also, just to let you know, there's several drivers that are going to be competing in the Rolex 24 Hours. Scott Dixon will be down along there. Alexander Rossi, James Hickloff, Joseph Newgarden is all going to be involved with this. So the Rolex 24 Hour coming up for you. It's a 3.56-mile road course plus the super speedway added into it, January 25th through the 28th. You can get yourself and get ready to go for that. Man, I think I've been down to that event one time. I actually went in there late in the evening and watched them run underneath what lighting they did have, and then broke it into the morning. A great event, 24 hours of Daytona coming up for you, the Rolex 24 Hour, January 25th through the 28th. You can log on to Rolex24hour.com and you get tickets for that. Speaking of tickets, also, some great tracks are all coming back into it. The Milwaukee Miles coming up. They got tickets for there. It's going to be a doubleheader race weekend up there. So, man, just definitely check that out. You can log on to get tickets to that at IndyCar.com. They've got it all for you, man. All kinds of great winners coming up out of that track. Michael Andretti, Mario, AJ Foyt, Gordon Johncock, Johnny Rutherford, Tom Sneva, Paul Tracy, Al Unser, and Bobby Unser, all with mega wins at that track. What a great, I'm glad to see them bring that facility back. It's glad to see some of the old tracks coming back into action, get them repaved. get them racing again. And of course, the Milwaukee Mile, famous for IndyCar racing for years, sort of like Wilkesboro was down for NASCAR. And of course, Dale Jr. and a bunch of people got that thing rocking and rolling. They took the All-Star race there. They repaved that track. I hear there's a lot of work being done down at Rockingham. Man, I would love to see that come back. That's another great NASCAR track, the Rock in Rockingham, North Carolina, man. Bring that event back. Once again, IndyCar back in action for you March 10th, 2024 with the Firestone GP in St. Petersburg, Florida for you, everybody. Coming up about 15 minutes after the hour, about 15 minutes away from NASCAR truck racer Spencer Boyd's going to be joining us. Hey, man, some sad news out of the NHRA. I think everybody sort of caught up with this, that racing legend Don Schumacher had passed away at the age of 79. Schumacher, man, just had one heck of a career as a racer and then eventually a team owner. He came up with all kinds of safety features that are now being inducted into the NHRA, as far as the calv over the top, the shield over the things, just some different things that Don Schumacher did. And it's sad to see. And of course, he released his teams a couple of years ago, but it's just unfortunate. I mean, he lived a great life, man. Just fantastic. Hate to see him. I got to interview him a couple of years ago when his team won out here in Las Vegas. And just what a great guy. I mean, heavy competition all the way around. But once again, Don Schumacher passes away at the age of 79. Real quickly, Tim Wilkerson has been piloting a NHRA funny car for many years. Well, he's actually retiring from the driving part of it, okay? He's more or less a team owner and everything now. He's got everything all set up for the 2024 season. He's got Skag Power equipment on board with him, and his son's going to be taking over. Daniel Wilkerson will be taking over the driving duties for the Ford Mustang funny car for his father and veteran driver, Tim Wilkinson, okay? Legendary NHRA team owner, Roland Long, known for his wide of string of beautiful Top Fuel and funny cars. Man, he's better known as the White. He also passed away December 29th at the age of 79. So, a couple of great legends we lost in the NHRA business out there, but things just keep moving on, all right? Finally, also toward you, Jake Coughlin Jr., man, he came out of retirement last year, did some stuff for Erica Enders and that race team out there. Well, apparently Coughlin's not done with retirement yet. He says he's throwing it out the door. He's ready to go this year. He's going to be back up into it. He's going to be driving the JHG Chevrolet for Erica Enders. And, man, they're going to have the Elite Power Motorsports packages behind it. And, of course, they've got to, let's see, I believe it's Skag is coming along. Yeah, Skag Power Equipment's coming along. It'll be powered by Elite Motorsports. So Jag Coughlin getting back into action. The NHRA opens their season March 7th through the 10th. Gator Nationals in Gainesville, Florida. They're back here for 4-wide racing April 12th through the 14th. Everybody get tickets at NHRA.com. All righty. Looking real good. Coming up in about 14 minutes or so away. Our first guest is going to be joining us. That is NASCAR Craftsman truck driver, now team owner Spencer Boyd will join us coming up at the top of the hour at 5 o'clock, everybody. We've got our good friend Derrike. Hey, real quickly, ARCA Menards Series pre-race practices from Daytona Beach, Florida, sitting up on the #1 spot. It was Jake Finch at 184.132 miles an hour, Tony Bollinger at 183.989, Chris Wright at 183, Gustine at 183.756, Marco Andretti rounding out the top 5 at 182.371 miles an hour. And a great shout out to our guy here locally. I just Kyle Keller. I just can't think enough. Kyle Keller down in Florida, man. He's drove ARCA. He's drove late model, super late models here in Las Vegas. He's won track championships up at a couple of different speedways up here. Won the big payoff out here at the Cup, man. At the Cup race, not the Cup race, but what they used to call the Senators Cup. I think it's the Star Nursery Cup now. So he won the big money out there. But he's down in Daytona, running that ARCA, testing up, man. Came out on the track, had a real good time, averaged out about 14th or 15th. So a great shout out to a Las Vegas native out there, Kyle Keller, who is racing down in Daytona, man. So have a great run down there. Great shot to get you in action down in Daytona Beach, everybody. Still to come, Spencer Boyd's going to be joining us coming up. And, of course, Derrike Cope at the top of the hour, all right? Real quickly, news from the Chili Bowl, man. That's another track I got to get to. I've got 3 things in the 2024 season I want to get to. I want to get up to Springfield, Illinois, or Sacramento, to the big mile races out there. I want to get over to Knoxville, Iowa, to where the World of Outlaws' big track is out there. And then next year, hopefully, to get down to the Chili Bowl, all right? But It was a great race down there, man. It was just something to see. And Logan Seavey took advantage of the restart on the opening of the 55-lap affair on the nonstop Saturday night action. He held up Buddy Colford. Buddy Colford was the guy who was going to give him a real run for the money, but it just wouldn't seem like that. So congratulations to him. If you're looking for tickets for the Chili Bowl for next year, they've got them available coming up January 13th through the 18th. That's when the dates are, and the tickets will be available coming up the first Wednesday in the month of March, okay? Real quickly, one more quick break. We'll get some NASCAR news, and we'll get ready for our first guest. Spencer Boyd will join us coming up in just about 10 minutes. Everybody on Pit Road Racing is live from Las Vegas.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. That's why we're out there each and every week, man, on Pit Road Racing, the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Big show coming up for you next week, everybody. 4th annual, man. We're looking at almost 2,000 of the world's greatest motorcycle racers that are coming to Las Vegas, and we're going to be hosting a big show starting at 3 p.m. live from upstairs. Notoriety Nightclub. That's where this is all going to be at, so make sure you're doing that. Coming up 22 minutes after the hour, coming up just about 8-10 minutes away from here, our first guest will be joining us. He's NASCAR Craftsman truck driver Spencer Boyd, now team owner. Man, we got to get into this with Spencer to find out how everything went. Hey, real quickly, some news and notes brought to you by our good friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, LVMS.com. Tickets are ready for this year's 2024 season, featuring the Pennzoil 400, presented by Jiffy Lube, Friday, March 1st through Sunday, March 3rd, 2024. Pick your tickets up at LVMS.com. Reckley War announced that today Ty Dillon will take over the number 25 Reckley Roofing Company in the War Shop Chevrolet Silverado full-time for the 2024 Craftsman Truck Series, beginning with the season opener in Daytona International Speedway coming up here in February. Of course, Ty Dillon spent some time in the NASCAR ranks out there, and he's just moving it on, man. Just couldn't find anything in the Cup Series, so he's got to get yourselves back onto it. So definitely looking good out there. All righty. Once again, Ty Dillon moving over to the trucks. Tricon Garage has announced that Wayan Solwich will return to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series and behind the lineup of the number 1 Toyota Tundra TRD for 2024. Okay. Also looking good out there. Going to have a new driver for the number 38 F-150 Craftsman Trucks. The name is Lane Riggs. Riggs at 21 yards, made 6 starts in the last 2 seasons. Best career finish was in the Indianapolis Raceway Park. He replaces 22 driver Zane Smith, who is set to compete in the Cup Series for Spire Motorsports after spending the previous 2 seasons with Front Row Motor. Thad Moffitt, grandson of the King Richard Petty, will make his full-time series debut in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series with a new team at Faction 46. The new team is owned by Lane Moore, owned in venture of food stores, and is in alliance with Nice Motorsports. Veteran NASCAR Cup Series driver Doug Gage will lead the team. Okay. Hill Motorsports is excited to announce that Timmy Hill will return to the number 56 Toyota Tundra in the TRD Pro season. Additionally, long-standing partners with UNS Moving and Portable Storage, and also Cobble Enterprises will return for the sponsorships on that. So, man, the truck drivers are definitely moving along. McNally Hellman Racing announced that Tyler Aiken will join the team for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series for the full lineup of 2020. Aiken is also will pilot a newly renumbered number 18 Silverado RST, and will be led by veteran crew chief Mark Hillman. So that's what we got coming up for you. About 5 minutes away here from our first guest joining us on Pit Road Racing. We are on season number 14, and Spencer Boyd will be joining us coming up in just a couple of minutes as we keep rolling on for you. Just keeping up on the NASCAR news and what's happening through this off season. A bunch of teams all switching things around. Everybody think JJ Yaley's not going to be coming back to Rick Ware Racing in 2024, aiming for another full season for Xfinity. Looking out, thinks he's got a better opportunity coming up for you. So we'll have to find out what the Tide's got coming up. And also NASCAR driver Spencer Boyd is announced in Charlotte, North Carolina through a press conference. Co-owner Chris Mills have formed the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Team Series in Freedom Racing Enterprises. The team will run a Chevrolet Silverados and will be the number 96 full season campaign starting in Daytona at the Speedway February 16th. Also, Sam Hunt, we want to announce that Corey Helm, the 2023 NASCAR Academy Truck Series regular series and champion, will pilot the number 26 in the Xfinity Series, and that will begin here March 2nd at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Once again, JJ Yeley not returning back to racing. Also, Sonny D, part of the Harvest Hill Beverage Company, will continue its partnership with Stewart Haas Racing. They're going to be sponsoring Josh Berry and his number 4 NASCAR Cup Series team in 2024 events. Okay, CJ McLaughlin will run a partial season for the Xfinity for RSS Racing. The team announced earlier this week his first start will be at the season opener at the Daytona International Speedway. McLaughlin has made 40 career starts in the Xfinity Series. So, you know, new teams coming in, new things going on. Also, real quickly, another sad note that we lost a great one. Cale Yarborough passed away. He was 84 years old. Cale had 4-time Daytona winner, 5-time victor at the Southern 500, man. I mean, he was one of those guys, one of those racers, the old school guy that just kept you rocking, just kept you rolling all the way around. So once again, 2 great legends, Don Schumacher from the NHRA, Cale Yarborough from NASCAR, longtime people that we've lost here. 83 career victories for Cale Yarborough, man. It's unbelievable. And also longtime Speedway Motorsports executive Kevin Camper is going to be lead man. He's leaving Las Vegas, going to be moving up to Charlotte, North Carolina. He's taking a hold of pretty much everything that's got anything to do with the commercial part of Speedway Motorsports Incorporated, including taking care of Performance Racing Network. So congratulations to Kevin Camper. We've worked with Kevin out here a couple of times, so definitely looking good. All right. Some news about Tony Stewart's leg. Apparently the SRX is out for this year. It's done, whether it's going to come back or not, but the season has been canceled. This comes on the eve of holding the, of course, Ray Evernham was involved with that with Tony Stewart. Now, apparently, Ray Evernham is joining forces once again with Bob Kaufman, who announced that they're going to bring back the IROC series. Now, if you all remember back, the IROC series was held in at Daytona, Talladega. I believe they ran up in Michigan. I don't think they did any short track. I can't remember any short tracks. They might have, but I just can't remember any of them. But anyhow, they're bringing this back. Basically, it was everybody driving the same style of car, all hooked up. And you had guys from NASCAR, from IndyCar, open wheel, closed wheel racing, all competing, special events. So we'll see what happens with that. I really liked Tony Stewart's stuff. I really thought it was good. He brought some great drivers, some legends, some new people into it. I was really looking forward to that season. I just hate to see that happened. I really do. But that's the way things go. Real quickly, Noah Gragson here from Las Vegas signed a deal with Stewart Haas Racing. He's going to be piloting the number 10 machine here for the full season. He seems to be real happy. Of course, we all know what happened with Noah. He had to go through the process of NASCAR and its insensitivity programs and things like that. So Noah's got him a new team. I said earlier in the year, if anybody was going to pick him up, I thought Tony Stewart would. If he's going to go to Cup racing, I thought maybe if he went back to Xfinity, then maybe back to Junior Motorsports. But apparently, I really think that this is a good team for Noah. I really do. I think he's going to be well appreciated there. I think they're going to get some decent equipment up underneath him. And Tony Stewart's the guy, buddy. You got to perform. You got to perform with him. He cuts no slack. And that's just the way it is. So we'll check it in. We'll see what happens. Hey, quick break. We'll get it tuned up. Our first special guest should be joining us in just a couple minutes. On Pit Road Racing is live from downtown Las Vegas, everybody. More with this right after this.
Come on! What the yeah! Oh man! Woo! That is awesome!
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, hey, you want some shoes? I said, yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not we, but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola too.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless. Here, a lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on a joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Well, anything can go wrong. You never know what's happening in Las Vegas. We're just waiting on a hookup with Spencer. We'll get right to him. Come to the top of the hour is the 1990 Daytona 500. Derrike Cook will join us too, live on Pit Road Racing, live here at Michael Steinbach's back with us next week. Also coming up next week, great show lined up. Former ESPN2 host of Moto World, Jerry Bernardo is going to be joining us because we're going to be featuring the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame next week. So get ready for that. We're looking forward to that. Taking good care of business all the way around. Live from downtown, going to pop it in, bring him up on the bird right there. And there he stands with us, man. You know, I've had an opportunity to work with racers over some 20-some year career. And there's a few people that have fallen into line that, you know, every now and then that they step up because they don't treat the media such as, you know, you get 5 minutes and then we move on. The gentleman standing by with me from Charlotte, North Carolina is truly a good friend of this program and a good special friend of myself. It is proud to welcome back now not only the driver, but team owner, Mr. Spencer Boyd, joining us. Good afternoon, sir, and how you doing today?
Hey, doing great. Sorry it took me a couple minutes to get downloaded, but stoked to be here.
Well, first of all, we got to go through this because we know they've got young racers and we're going to get this. How did Spencer Boyd get racing?
Yeah, take you way back. Started go-kart racing St. Louis, Missouri when I was 5 years old, and grew up loving the sport, watching Dale Jr. and as the household favorite driver. And then when I got in that smart aleck age, turned into a huge Kyle Busch fan, and that really fueled my desire to be a NASCAR driver, and moved out to North Carolina and moved up the ranks, go-karts, legend cars, late models, and ultimately truck racing.
And man, you came from one of my favorite tracks, Hickory, North Carolina, man, right? That track right there, Bowman Gray, Hickory, Langley Speedway, South Boston. Those are the meat and potato groups back there, Spencer, and that track's still rocking and rolling. You ever get a visit back now?
I go back there as much as I can. I've ran my super truck out there once or twice a year the last few years, and just love it. You know, Hickory is a great racetrack. Those guys over there, Kevin and everyone, they do a great job putting on races, and I was fortunate enough to win a lot of races out there, so it's always refreshing to stop by.
All right, so last couple of years, Young Motorsports, number 12, also number 20 machine. This year I get a press conference that you're in Charlotte, North Carolina. Your PR guy, Tom Rice, gives me a call. Spencer Boyd is no longer there. He is driving with his own team. How did this all come about, Spencer?
Yeah, I'd say it's been a long time coming, you know. It's been something that we've thought about. Tom, who you mentioned, he's been with me a long time doing the marketing and keeping me on the racetrack. You know, Tom's kind of that silent guy people don't know about, but collectively we both put in a lot of hours to keep me on the racetrack. And we've talked about, you know, how do you improve performance? How do you kind of build the name and stay in the sport longer than just driving? And about a year ago, that's really when we started talking to partners and saying, hey, you know, this is something that we think we'd like to do. Here's kind of our forecast of what it would look like. How do we get A to Z? And then next thing you know, VMS, you know, we purchased a few trucks. Then all of a sudden they're like, we may have more trucks available. And this relationship just started to cultivate into something more, and timing was perfect. And I joke around all the time, whether it's sponsors, racing, it's when opportunity meets resources, and that's what happened. So we put it together, and now I'm the face of this deal. A lot of people are helping me do it, but Freedom Racing Enterprises means a lot to me. I love the Eagle. I'm one of the more patriotic guys, I would say. So getting the Eagle in our logo, FRE, it's a cool acronym, and just stoked to get to the racetrack and kind of have some more control.
Now, have you guys purchased your own shop and everything else? I mean, because, you know, I mean, the big news came out for the truck series that Kyle Busch sold KBM Motorsports. He sold Rowdy. The energy drink's gone. So did you guys look at another team and purchase another shop? Or are you operating it? Are you co-living with somebody else, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, so we're on our own. We got our own shop. Obviously something we're going to grow into something bigger, but needed something to get off the ground, right? So we got a nice little shop I call it petite, joking with the guys. We have some guys involved in this deal, mechanics, crew chief, Jeff Hammond, GM. They have hundreds of years of experience is what we joke about. And they're like, man, this is grassroots when it comes to the shop. And but we got great equipment, great people working on it. It was perfect timing to purchase a lot of trucks from GMS. And then ultimately, there's the opportunity to get people. This time when we were putting this together, really it was all hands on deck the Monday after Phoenix. And when we got back and started rolling into this and saying, okay, here's our shop, here's what we got going on, let's hit the ground running. It was that's time of year. People are looking for jobs. People are looking for opportunities. So we were able to make some things happen, get some people that I truly didn't think I could get to come jump on a starter deal. And they did. So I feel really fortunate about that. And we've been running and gunning here for a couple months.
This is just great. I am so happy for you. I really am, because I know, folks, if you follow racing, you understand there's always the big teams. Okay, whether it's Cup, Xfinity, trucks, makes no difference. There's always the big teams. The gentleman we got on this, he's a guy that started out in the local ranks. He raced around the country. He's out in the shop busting his knuckles every night, working with sponsors. I mean, nowadays you got people. I remember my owner, Gene Woods, Spencer, who raced Speedway motorcycles and did time with the Winston West series back. Those days you didn't have PR guys. You didn't have marketing guys. You had to get out there. You were practicing the bike or practicing running the car. Then you were jumping in the shower. You were jumping in a car or wherever to go meet somebody to get sponsors. And you're doing the same thing. You're doing the exact same. And I am so happy for you, young man. I really am. I'm just so happy.
Thank you. It's so much fun. We're having a blast. And like I said, so many people coming on board to help us. When you take this type of thing on, right? Call it an animal. That on, you gotta have people. All these parts the last 4 or 5 years, being able to jump up and say, hey, this is what we can contribute. This is what we want to see happen. What is your plan? Where do you think you're going to run? And to be able to come out and say, hey, we're going to full-time race. We're going to make a go of this thing and really get after it. And acquiring points, there's so many things behind the scenes that needed to happen. And when those dominoes started falling, you're like, okay, here we go. This is going to be a blast. And when you look at these trucks, like you said, I'm at the shop every day. So when you look at them, you're just like, wow, this is crazy. These trucks look awesome. We're already, getting trucks completed and ready for the first 4 or 5 races of the year. So I feel like our planning's been really good. And that has a lot to say with, Jeff Hammond and Greg Ely. Those guys are coming in clutch and working a lot of hours and making things happen. And knowing that they believe in me is quite refreshing.
Can't wait for you to get back. I was hoping to get down to Daytona this year, but Gene's going to Daytona, so I got to stay here. But anyhow, I was hoping to get to Daytona, but you'll be out here in March. And of course, we definitely want to come spend some time with you at the hauler. And, it's always been a privilege to work with you and to have you on this program. Diane and I both, back in the day when you had your car, I believe it was the Xfinity car out here, we signed the hood that you were dedicating everything to our servicemen and women, to everybody like that. And of course, Diane's father was a career man, 26 years. And she just got such a kick out of signing that. And she put a little special thing up on the Facebook saying, and I signed Spencer's car, Daddy, and God bless you, and that just really made her day. Talk about sponsors, Spencer. This is going to be, you got to have the money to roll. Who you got coming on board? Let's give them a shout out.
Yeah, there's so many great partners. Talk about Las Vegas, talk about out West. There's some great partners out there for a guy that grew up out here racing on the East Coast to line up with some great partners out there. NorCal Equipment Rentals out there in California, 6B Apparel in Vegas. And then as you move out toward the east, Latitude Aero, Freedom Warranty, Cronier Law, SoCal out west as well, SoCal Expedition. So many guys jumping on. We got some new ones coming on board that we'll announce here pretty soon, but you'll see a ton of familiar faces. That's really what made all this happen. And just feel fortunate that they're all jumping on board and getting behind something exciting. And I know we're pumped to get to the racetrack. This first couple races, kick it off, kind of our Super Bowl Daytona, knowing that we're good to go there is great. You know, Tibbetts Lumber, they came on strong at the end of last year, and they're doing a bunch with us in the Southeast this year. So really stoked about that, getting down to Daytona. I love speedway racing, and Atlanta's going to be fun, obviously another speedway-style track. And Las Vegas, it's been good and bad to me, so I want to flip that coin and have a great weekend.
There you go. Real quickly, social media, where they can find you at if they're interested in becoming a partner with you. Where can they get a hold of Spencer Boyd and Spencer Boyd Racing?
Yeah, so I run my own social media message, Instagram, Spencer Boyd PR, Twitter, Spencer Boyd, and Facebook, Spencer Boyd Racing fan page. And check out our new racing page, FRE, Freedom Racing Enterprises. We're all over YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Hit us up. We love the new followers. We're trying to do some really cool behind-the-scenes stuff. So we got some of that up. You might see that a lot of other teams aren't throwing out there, so it might be a cool follow.
Well, let me do this. If you get into town, I know you're racing on Friday. If you happen to get in town on Thursday, you got my number. Give me a call, and we'll come down here to the Gene Woods Racing Experience. I got a 12,000 square foot indoor true drift track. It's like Fast and Furious and the Tokyo Drift with go-karts, man. I mean, it is something to do. I'd love to have you come down, and we'll swap some laps together, okay?
Sure, I'd love to, man. That sounds like a blast.
Well, it's coming up. Daytona is coming up in just a couple of weeks away. It's the season opener. It is the granddaddy of all racing here for NASCAR. And, of course, the trucks will kick it off on a Friday night, Xfinity Saturday, and the Cup on Sunday. But if you want to see some real racing, I mean real racing in the top three, because the Cup's great, the Xfinity's great. But if you want to see some real racing, check out the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, because from the first lap to the last lap, it's beating and banging. Short track racing, whether it's on a short track, 1.5 miles, or a super speedway, the fenders are open. And this gentleman right here, I see as a contender. A contender. You hear me, Spencer Boyd? A contender for the championship in 2020.
Well, I appreciate that. We're excited. Like you said, truck racing, there's so much going on. A lot of young people in it, fresh faces to the sport. So it's bound to be exciting, especially speedway racing. I love it, and I know we're going to beat some fenders and have a great day.
It won't be but about a month or so away. You'll be here in Las Vegas, and you know Diane and I will be on the starting line, and we'll be at the trailer ready to go for you, my friend. Spencer Boyd, ladies and gentlemen, a brand new race team, brand new number, brand new action for 2024. Spencer Boyd from Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you so much. Final word. Wait a minute. I got to always do this. Young racer Spencer Boyd, a little bit of encouragement for our young racers out there. Any advice, anything that you could pass along to them?
Well, I'll tell you this. 9 years ago when I was selling cars, going to school for marketing, racing the late models on short tracks, I really didn't think this would happen. You know, I didn't know if I would make it in NASCAR, and I knew that it was going to have a lot to do with the marketing side of things. So I made that a focus, and just kind of, stood the test of time. Here we are going in year 9, started our own team. So just telling anybody out there, hard work pays. HWP, I put it on the steering wheel. I put it on the dash. At the end of the day, whatever you're doing, hard work pays.
And real quickly, I see that cool hoodie. Is that something new with the sponsor on there? That is a really cool hoodie, man.
That's my buddies over at Off Axis Paint, man. They paint Martin Truex helmets, Kyle Busch. They do mine. They've done all my NASCAR helmets. Greg is awesome. He's out here in Mooresville, does a great job. Actually grew up just outside of St. Louis like me. So try and support those local guys.
One more time around for our good friend Spencer Boyd joining us from Mooresville, Charlotte, North Carolina. Good luck in this year, my friend. New owner, new team, new everything. And we will see you here in Las Vegas just coming up about a month or so away, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Spencer Boyd. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll talk to him real soon, and we'll be back with more of On Pit Road Racing is coming up for you next. We've got a quick break, and coming up, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion. That's right. Derrike Cope will join us coming up right after this.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Welcome to my world. Handicap man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway." So might as well. And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. I'm not we, but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone. You know, it makes for good karma or good energy, whatever it takes. Hell, I ought to do a product placement for Coca-Cola too.
Looking right on Pit Road Racing. Hello, Michael's joining you. Let me bump it up. There we go. Coming up just about 7 minutes away from the top of the hour. Coming up, Derrike, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion, will join us live, Charlotte, North Carolina. Want to thank Spencer Boyd, man. What a great guy. There's a couple of things that you don't know about Spencer we didn't let out, but several years ago, I think a lot of people realized that I lost my daughter. And it was the week before NASCAR came here to Las Vegas. I had no intentions of going to the races, and I got a call from Jeff Motley, who's the Vice President of Media Relations, said, "Alan, come on out. Whether you do any broadcasting, come out here, be with your friends." I did. I had a picture of my daughter, Abby, and Spencer Boyd took this picture and took it inside the truck with him, and he rode around the entire race. It was just a great feeling, just an honorable thing that he did. And I just want to thank Spencer for it. I mean, he's one of those guys that we've sit down, we've eaten lunch with him, we've talked with him, been sort of a middle of the road racer, you know, middle of the pack, finishing 12th, 15th. I just wish, I really think he's got it. And I did not know that he had the people behind him, Jeff Hammond, Craig Carucci for Darrell Walter for years. Man, he's got some stacked up people. This could be a contention. This seriously, I mean, it only takes a couple of quick breaks and a win here or there, man, and he's in. I wish him so much luck. Coming up about 8 minutes away from Derrike joining us, the 1990 Daytona 500 champion. Other quick notes, whether you knew it or not, Tony Stewart is taking a hold of the Top Fuel dragster for Leah Pritchett. Leah's decided to lay out the 2024 season. Her and Tony are working on a family. Congratulations, Smoke. We know the people that handle his marketing and PR. Well, they sort of kept this under hiatus for a while. But anyhow, Tony is jumping from the alcohol dragster here in 2023 to 2024. He's going to Top Fuel. He'll replace Lee in that Top Fuel dragster. Unbelievable. Way to go, Smoke. Can't wait to, I can't wait. I'm hoping that the NHRA luncheon this year, they bring Tony Stewart, because that'd be great. Speaking of Stewart Haas Racing, they have set the final lineup. Noah Gragson will join the team. They'll pilot that number 10 Ford Mustang, multi-year agreement. Gragson will join. Driver roster includes Josh Berry, coming over from Junior Motorsports, Xfinity. Chase Briscoe and Ryan Priest stay with the team. Two great young guys and a couple of veterans in there. Let's hope Stewart Haas can get themselves back into it. Of course, they won the Xfinity Championship this year. Let's see him get back. An announcement was made on Twitter, formerly, well, X, now formerly Twitter. Noah's going to be paired up with crew chief Drew Blickendorfer for the 2024 campaign. Great opportunity. Noah's really excited. So we're really happy for Noah Gragson. I really hope this works out for him. Great thing. Wanted to let you know 3 more dates coming up for On Pit Road Racing. My good friend Phil Cummings, Scratch with a K, great comedian, broadcaster out of Daytona Beach. Going to be live at Daytona. Scratch and I are going to do Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. Actually, from 4 to 4:30 on Fridays. Setting everybody up. We should have qualifying, everything ready to go, so we'll have that ready for you. Scratch is going to join me on Mondays from 4 to 5 for a 1-hour wrap-up for the weekend. Special interviews and guests. So we're looking forward to that. Just going to be a great season, 45 weeks. We're going to be out on the road. We're going to be starting off next Saturday. We're going to be at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame's 4th annual event. 1,500 to 2,000 of the world's greatest motorcycle racers and riders, crew chiefs, members, all coming for this 4th annual event, brought to you by our good friends at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Founded by Gene Woods, 45-year racing career, Speedway Motorcycles, 3-time U.S. national champion. So Keith Mashburn, president of the organization, my wife and I, Diane, sit on the board. We're looking really forward to be a 3-hour live show right here at the WCOBM. Then right after that, first weekend in March, we're going to be heading out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 3 days of broadcasting out there for the Craftsman trucks. Then we'll have the Xfinity show, the Cup show on Sunday, so we'll be multiple hours of broadcasting there. Right after that, the NHRA comes back to town, 4-wide racing at the Strip. So we'll be out there covering 3 days of that. So we've got some great stuff. So 3 great weekly shows. Mondays from 4 to 5, the wrap-up. Wednesday, our special 2-hour show. And Fridays, just getting you set for the weekend out there. Come about 3 minutes or so away, top of the hour. 1990 Daytona 500 champion Derrike Cope is going to join us. Brand new book. I got a chance to read this great book. If you like racing and motorsports, you got to get this book. Available on Amazon. That's where we picked our copy up. Diane and I have been fighting it over for the last week. Who we should have gotten 2. Sort of knew this was going to come along. But Derrike's going to be joining us here in a couple of minutes. Once again, next week, Jerry Bernardo is going to be joining us. Former host of ESPN, Moto World. He's going to be that. Nancy Matter. She's going to be on the program next week. She is forming an NHRA Top Fuel team. This girl's been drag racing on the locals. We got her in racing around the country. Nancy's going to join us next week. We'll talk to her. She's also had a singing career, too. So it's going to be a great weekend all coming up. 45 weeks right here at On Pit Road Racing, live at the WCOBM. Derrike Cope will join us just a couple of minutes. Let's get a break in before we join Derrike. When we come back, we'll get the champ on the line. On Pit Road Racing is live from the WCOBM downtown Las Vegas, everybody.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless here. A lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Come on! What the
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
You never know what can go wrong in Las Vegas. They get fighting, pushing. Last year sort of reminded me of Bowman Gray, Madhouse in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. You never know. Once again, thank you so much to our first guest, NASCAR Craftsman truck racer and now team owner Spencer Boyd. Good luck to Spencer down there, standing by via the satellite from Charlotte, North Carolina. Got him all focused in. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I've had an opportunity to work with a lot of racers and a lot of people in my lifetime. Dick Trickle was one of them. Dick Trickle sat down with me and explained to me what short track racing was all about, along with his brother, the other Spencer Boyd. The other gentleman that's standing by on the line with us right now is also, I consider, not only a good friend, member of this program, but took time with me to show me about racing, explain to me about how racing works and how it really is. He joins us live from Charlotte, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 1990 Daytona 500 champion, author, podcaster, Derrike. Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing just great, my friend. As
I lost you. You got me?
I got it. I got you, Derek.
All right, good.
You're there. We're good. I don't know if you caught the very beginning of it, but there are a lot of racers, Dick Trickle, Chuck Trickle, and you were one that took time with me to sit down and explain racing to me and explain what to watch. And you let me be part of your team one time, and it was just a great honor, and it's great to have you back. One question, Derek, I never did get to ask you, and for some reason, when we got down to that last lap, 2 car lengths back, did you see Earnhardt's tire blow that day? Did you see the tire blow?
I actually did not see it blow. All I really was fixated on was, seeing him start to back up to me. And I was committed to the bottom, and I'd been going to the top. And I just had a lot of wheel in it, and he started backing up to me. I really thought we were going to run into each other. And his car got sideways, and he just moved up the racetrack when he corrected to the right, and I went by him. And then at that point there, I did have some things hitting my car, pieces of something. I didn't know what that was, but I was so fixated on him backing up to me at that point. That's where all my thoughts were.
And when you came down to it, when you crossed the line, did you know? I always wondered, did you know you just won the Daytona 500?
Yeah, I think when I came off turn 4, I looked in my rearview mirror as I passed Earnhardt, and I saw, Labonte and Elliott back there. I knew they didn't have enough for me, and I had some distance, and I knew if I just kept my foot down that, we really had a Daytona 500 in our grasp. And I realized it when I came off of 4 flat.
It was unbelievable. Like I said, it's been an inspirational. A lot of people, we've let it out of the bag that we've kept it somewhat in, not letting all the information in the bout that I'm going through right now with cancer. And we feel positive about it. But there's a couple of things that I watch every day, and you winning the Daytona 500. I think I sent your wife a text saying, tell Derrike that I'm 2 car lengths back. I can see his bumper, and I'm coming, man. And that piece of video, Derrike, has kept me rolling day after day after day after day. I watch it every morning. I start my day watching you win the Daytona 500. And I thought, if Derrike Cope came from a small team to pull up a victory like you did, then I can win this victory too.
Absolutely. I know that I know the man you are. I know how dedicated you are and how diligent, and how hard you stay at it. And I feel like you're gonna get to the finish line here too, and you're gonna beat this thing. And we're all hopeful here, and we're all pulling for you. And our thoughts and prayers are certainly with you every day.
All right, let's get to it. The book. Diane and I, we should have ordered 2 copies of this, because I knew once this got started, she started, and I said, well, give it to me. What chapter? Don't tell me what's going on. How did this all come? How did Cope come to reality?
Well, actually, it was about, I think it was, 2018. I think we were in Phoenix, and Brock Beard, he had written, J.D. McDuffie's book, and I knew of the book, and he, he came and introduced himself, and, said that he would, wanted to do a book about me and my life. And I don't know. I was, taken back a bit. I wasn't really too sure about doing it. And my wife, Alicia, she really kind of pushed for me to do it, just to be able to chronicleize what had happened in my life, and, how I got here, and, my father and our family. And so she said, a lot of people don't really know the true story, how difficult it was getting here and staying here, and the ups and the downs. And she said, everybody probably has a preconceived notion that, you had a great deal of money and behind you. And she said, you ought to just set the record straight. And that way people really know, what it took, and the people that helped you, and people that believe in you, and, how much, what your father was, and how his inspiration and his vision was. So that was really my thoughts at that point, was to chronicleize it, much as what we've done with the podcast, just to document everything for the future. So that's the reason we decided to do it. And it's a little bit different. It's not really a autobiography. It's basically got a lot of different things and segments. So it's kind of a unique piece.
I'm finding it fascinating. I finally just took the book from Diane. And I said, I'm going somewhere. And I just took and ran. That's what I did, because I got started and I just didn't want to stop. I just think it's unbelievable. And, a lot of people, Jared, when you entered the Daytona 500, the team had already decided that it was going to disband right after that season. You were pretty much going to be looking for a ride, and here you come to the granddaddy of all races after that, and you win the whole damn thing, man. That just had to have been a shock. I mean, a shock to the team to say, we're quitting. We just don't, whether it was financing, whatever it might have been. But then all of a sudden you come out and win the granddaddy of them all. It's just
Well, it's that really came a year after. We were dedicated to the 1990 season, and we had the funding to go, and obviously winning Daytona and then going to Dover and winning that really kind of set set the path for us. And things were going really well, and then things happened that winter, and it's just kind of changed. And we lost Buddy, and Buddy left the team, and things started to change. And Purelator, I'd gone through 4 presidents at Purelator, and so there's a lot of things going on there, and they were getting ready to go public, and there's a lot of inner conflict. They've been sold to Pennzoil, and so a lot of inner workings that I was obviously privy to and a part of, but it was getting more and more difficult to see it through. And when Roman Baruta was there, it was getting ready to come to an end. And Bob actually, cut a deal with Roman Baruta at Purelator to end it, because they were going public. So that was really our demise. But really, we had a good run, and it just didn't go long enough.
How about the podcast? How's the podcast coming along?
Well, we're not doing it any longer. We're taking a break. We got so many things going on. So we had the book coming out, and we had a lot of other things. So we took the 1 year and went through and chronicalized, I think, 50 episodes. And really, I felt really good about how and what we did. And I felt like that it was very comprehensive. And we had some, a couple of key guests on there that I really wanted to get on. And then so we decided to take a little bit of a break here, and we got some exciting things we can't talk about quite yet. We're probably a month away, maybe 3 weeks away from kind of coming out with what we're going to do. But yeah, we're busy right now with a lot of other things. We're trying to get a program up and going here shortly. So, we'll be announcing a lot of great things here shortly. But like I said, there's only so many hours in a day. So we're trying to keep doing what we're doing with the Trans Am program with Nitro Motorsports, the GR86 programs with Toyota. And then I'm doing some actual Skip Barber instructing coming up this year. So we have a lot going on. I'm going to try to intersperse something else here shortly.
Ever a shot at getting back into a car?
There's a chance that I'll get to do a little bit of driving as well. Yes. But it's going to be a little bit different scenario, and I'm looking forward to it. I've been doing some track days with my Radicals. So that's been fun. And we're doing some corporate outings with that. So we're giving some ride-alongs and, doing some public speaking and taking care of clients. So we've got a multitude of things going on. It's keeping us busy, and we're enjoying pretty much every aspect of it.
Joining us from his house and office in Charlotte, North Carolina, is the 1990 Daytona 500 champion, is Derrike Cope. And of course, Derrike has had a successful podcast. The new book is out. Derrike, thinking, I think I've got ours on Amazon. Where's Cope available?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's called Cope, and it's on Amazon, so it can be purchased there on a paperback, and you can also get it on over the internet, as well. So you can download the book as well. So there's 2 ways to get it, and like I said, it's been well received so far, and I'm hoping that people, if they do get it, they do listen to it, that it'll be a bit insightful for everyone, and hopefully they'll enjoy it.
Just a great thing. Real quickly, NASCAR's changed over the years. Good, positive things that you've seen out of it. I mean, I know everybody sort of walks the line in this, but I mean, I'm the type of guy that calls it out. I mean, for one instance, what do you think about this Chicago thing? I mean, I see Wilkesboro. I see them repaving Rockingham. I start to see these other tracks, and they want Formula One was just here, Derrike. And a lot of people didn't think it was racing. It was a show. Now, from what I've seen of Formula One racing, they sort of beat and bang these cars out here. And compared to what, a NASCAR, or a Cup car, or Xfinity car, or truck is, and compared to what they are, I mean, we're talking high performance, multi-million dollar cars. Where do you see NASCAR? Is NASCAR on the right move? I mean, bringing in these road courses like this, I mean, Sonoma and Watkins Glen was so good for us for so many years. Do we need to add more stuff like this, or should we get back to some of the grassroots stuff?
Well, I think, there's always 2 sides to the story. And I think with the type of car that has been implemented, the car is, very conducive to road racing. It's pretty much what it's designed for. And I think that, going to venues that I think can bring in more people and a better audience, and maybe it's good for television. I thought the Chicago race was pretty entertaining, to be quite honest. And I thought that having the influx of, Van Gisbergen coming, from Australia and supercars and doing what he did, I think it just opened up another element that drew in a lot of fans and people, and maybe some exposure for other guys from other series. So, I think it's kind of changed how the approach is for looking at drivers and looking for ways to bring in something new. And who knows? We're going to see an influx of that this year. We'll see how it goes. But, hey, I'm all for going back to some of the places we used to go because, I'm a traditionalist. But I think that, I think they're doing okay. The cars, I think the racing's been good. I'm not a big, guy on all the, the brakes and the stages and stuff. But you know what? It seems like everybody else seems to like it. So, I think the racing's pretty decent right now. So I guess we'll just kind of wait and see how this year goes and see how the road courses fill in, and then see what they got on tap for something else.
I've agreed with you on that one point. I don't like the stage racing. I don't like the brake thing. I don't like this. Just let's go. I mean, if it's a green flag stop, then your pit crew's got to be on ball. I mean, whether it's 1 lug nut or 5 lug nuts, and whether it's 2 cans of fuel or it's a twist out of the back end or a twist in or whatever, you got to move it. I just want him to race. That's what I want him to do. I just want him to race. I don't like the stage points and all that. But I'll give you the point, new markets and everything else. I would like to see some of the traditionals. I'd like to see the All-Star event get moved around a little bit. I really would. Real quickly, Tony Stewart and Ray Abraham have announced that the SRX is done, at least for this year. Then right after that, Abraham and Bob Kaufman announced that the IROC series is coming up, but I haven't seen many more of it. Derrike, have you got a line on this? Is it going to be sort of the same style of cars, whether it was the Camaro or the Firebird? Will they all race the same thing? Or are we back to like the traditional IROC? Have you heard anything about that?
You've heard about what I've heard. I've obviously, just seen what Ray's put out there, and knowing Rob Kaufman and Ray, I mean, they're in the trenches. They're digging at this thing, I'm sure, and they're trying to come up with probably the best concept car to use for it. But I think they're probably holding things close to the vest right now, so hopefully they can put the right things in the mix to come out and have a very productive and exciting series. I've always liked the IROC series, and I like having the different drivers come in and in the same type of prepared car, similar to SRX thing, but running the venues that you would run a cup car at, right, where they have their expertises. So I guess we're just gonna all have to wait and see. But I think I'm intrigued by it. I'm hoping that it comes to fruition here, and we'll hear more about it shortly. But Ray's a pretty talented guy. He always has been very instrumental in getting people to do things in motorsports, and it seems to come off in a class fashion. So I'm looking forward to it.
I always thought that series was really cool, because like you said, they brought guys from NASCAR, guys from IndyCar, open wheel racing, all dynamics, and put them all in an equal car, and let's let the driver talent show what you got, right? I mean, let's see what you got. So I like to see this. I hated to see. I thought Tony and Ray put a really good series together. I don't know if it was because of financial support. We all know motorsports, you got to have the money to run. Whether you're a small team or a big team, you still got to have the money to run. And maybe that's what it was. But here and there, we'll see what happens. I like the old IROC series, and I hope that works out for them. Anything new and interesting that you've seen? I mean, there's been a lot of rule changes coming along with NASCAR. Do you think that is stock car racing heading in a great direction, Derrike?
Obviously I've stepped back from it a bit. I still stay in touch, and I pay particular attention to it because I love it so much. But I think some of the things that they're being receptive to, like trying to change the diffuser in the back, and trying to find the right horsepower mix, and adding some spoiler and doing some different things. They're doing whatever it takes now to try to find and enhance the racing. So I think NASCAR is receptive to looking at change, or receptive to looking at things that maybe initially they thought were going to be good, and it maybe didn't work out to the degree that they had first thought of. So they're willing to make change. So I think you got to give them credit for that. And I think the car is a nice car. The one thing that I don't like has always been that low profile tire where the cars get stuck on the racetrack and they take them out of the race. And I wish they could do something there. That would be my only thought, is keeping the thing off the ground a little bit more so they don't have the cars, stop the racing. But, other than that, I mean, I think the car is pretty well suited. I think they're doing a nice job, and they're looking to make changes. So, I think take another look at them this year. And let's reassess things as we go.
I agree with you on that. Did you ever drive the new car? Did you ever? I don't think you ever competed with the new car.
We built one. We built the first car that we took to Charlotte, and we had Kaz Gralla drive the car, and we were really fast with the car, and right off the truck, and we were excited, looking forward. But obviously, the team was going to be sold at that juncture. But I liked the car. Myself and two others, my engineer, another guy, we put the car together ourselves for the most part, and I really enjoyed the way it went together. I liked the actual, structure of buying the pieces and bolting them on. And, you don't have to have as many cars. I think the actual concept is good. I think, I think they're on the right path here. I think they're doing a nice job, and they're not allowing a lot of tampering with the cars. They're holding fast, and they're not allowing that. So I think kudos to them for that. I mean, so I think they're doing a nice job.
We know Scott Miller personally, and there's one thing, you're absolutely right. It's set the way it is. Like it or not, it's set the way it is. And if you try cheating, we're going to nail you for it. And I mean, last year, whether legitimate cheating, Whether legitimate cheating or not legitimate cheating, either which way around, if you try to do it, they're going to catch it. And they did catch them, and they penalized for them. Other quick question. You didn't get to drive the car, but your outlooks, a lot of drivers thought, Derrike, this car wasn't as safe as what the older fab car was. Your opinion on that? Do you think that obviously you didn't get to drive the car, but from what you got to see of it and everything else, do you think this car safety-wise is safer than the old style car?
Initially, no. Initially, the problems were that, I think that they rushed things, in my opinion, and they didn't really crash test the car before they actually put it into production. So that was a mistake, I felt like. And the car was really too rigid. And I think there was no crush zones in the car. And that was probably the biggest detriment early on. And the way the car was constructed, there was no air gaps. There was nothing for the air to pass through. So they had an enormous heat problem. So they were burning up the drivers, holding a lot of heat in. And then, a lot of it's causing fires and, just some miscues there. But, when you take a product to market quickly and you don't really get a chance to run it thoroughly, you're going to have those types of things happening. So it was a big undertaking. They did a creditable job and made a few mistakes, but, they now have those sipes and those slots cut in these chassis, in the back, front, rear clips. So they made some enhancements to the actual center section as well with some of the extrusion plates. And so they're working hard to get crushability in the car and not make it as rigid so the car doesn't transfer all the energy to the driver. So they've made inroads, seems to be being a lot more productive, and I think it's becoming a very safe race car.
I was talking to Gene Woods, who drove, rode Speedway motorcycles. He did some time with Ray Abraham and the old Winston West, and he thought what the thing of it was is what you thought, that the shock, the impact, and something about the seat, Gene was telling me that the shock and the impact wasn't being taken away from the drivers, and especially we know about Kurt Busch backing into the wall. Obviously, it's set to his retirement. But Derrike, I think that was the big problem. I think the rear end of the car wasn't absorbing, or the seat wasn't letting the pressure go away. And these guys and race car drivers were getting hurt because of this. So I think NASCAR's figured that part of it.
Well, the car was too rigid, and it was made out of very strong, big box tubing, rectangular tubing, and there was no crushability in the car. And what was happening is when you crashed, when you hit something, all the energy was not being absorbed before the energy got to the driver. So if you hit front or back, all that energy has to go somewhere, and it went right to the driver. And that's where we started seeing the problems, and the concussions were, obviously very prominent. So when you can put, slots or things in the actual tubing, you can make them lighter tubing in some areas where when the car hits, it absorbs, it has a crush zone. So like back in the old days, you had all the big bodies and they set far away from the actual chassis. So that would crush and then go before they actually got to the tubing, and then the energy go to the driver. So there's a lot of crushability. And now they have more of that in the front clip and the rear clip, and they're finding a way to take that energy and dissipate it before it actually gets to the driver more significantly.
Derrike Cobb joining us live from Charlotte, North Carolina, the 1995 Daytona 500 champion. A couple of minutes left. Derrike, how about racing, what you're doing with rally teams and things like that? Let's talk a little bit about that. What's going on in Derrike Cobb's racing world as far as that goes?
Right now we're primarily in the road racing, type of aspects. So, we're doing the Trans Am TA2 program with Nitro Motorsports, and Nick Tucker, he is like the Toyota guy for all the development drivers that are coming up through the system. And, he's got Brent Cruz, he had Connor Zilich in karts, and, a lot of those kids are making a lot of news. Obviously, Ben Mayer, I took him to COTA, I crew chiefed him, and we finished 8th at COTA, and he's only 14 years old. And, so you're starting to see, a lot of these young kids getting opportunities. And so being involved with, the Trans Am series, and then now the GR86, which is, a Toyota development program as well, and a series there with homologated cars. So I'm doing some things there, and then, I'm doing some coaching as well. So, I've kind of been involved with a lot of the road racing stuff now, and I'm enjoying that. So, and we'll have another announcement coming here in probably a few weeks that will be an exciting step up, and I'll be able to elaborate more with you after that. But the road racing thing's fun and exciting, and I think it does allow us to showcase some young talent and put them in a position to, go to some higher levels, whether it's NASCAR and or, racing in the road courses and up into IMSA.
Unbelievable. It's just great. Fantastic. I like real quick, team owners are moving around. And I wanted to ask you this question. It was known Tony Stewart said this. He took Josh Berry to pilot a cup car this year. And he said the reason why he took Josh Berry is because mom and dad didn't come with an open checkbook. He took him because of his talent. Your thought?
Well, I mean, he certainly has come up, through the system on his own. I mean, he's run the late model series programs, much similar to what somebody like myself and a lot of the guys in the earlier days did. You ran locally, you ran whatever you could get your hands on, and you're trying to showcase your potential. And when you win races, people pay attention. And I think that's what he was able to do. And then he was able to get the ear of in the eyes of Junior, and he was, got himself in a position to drive for him and showcase his talent there. And, then Junior had the wherewithal to put him in quality equipment and get him up through the ladder. And now he's in a position to really get a chance to run, in the Cup Series and get what he dreamed of his whole life. So I think it just shows that it still can happen. It just takes people out there, doing all you can do and fighting the good fight and trying to make people believe in you. And I think that's what it takes. And he is definitely determined. He's a talented young man, and hopefully he'll have a good year.
Your thoughts real quickly, the Noah Gregson situation, leaving Legacy Motor Club, and now Stuart Haas has picked him up. Is this a good fit for Noah?
Well, I think it's certainly a great opportunity for him. I think it was much like the deal that happened, with Kyle Larson. I mean, you make a mistake and you say something or you do something that, is not acceptable. And, he's paid for it, and he certainly has addressed it, in a proper manner. And, everybody deserves a second chance, in my opinion. And, he's a talented young guy. He's a little quirky, but he drives hard, and, he doesn't really show a lot of mercy. He wants to win. And, you have to be driven in this sport. And I think that he certainly is. So, you know what? He's resilient. He's found a way back. So you got to give him some credit, and hopefully he makes the most of it.
We followed Noah. I remember Noah when Noah was running legend cars, okay, back in his day. He was just a young kid then, and he's always been that way. Here at the Bull Ring, different local tracks around here, he's always went out that nothing but first place. No, whatever I've never seen him intentionally wreck anybody or anything, do savage stuff like that. But I mean, this kid has always had it in his mind. Nothing is better than first. Second is no option to him, and I'm glad to see him get that. Anybody you see coming up through any of the ranks, Derrike? You see a new superstar coming up, and you've been doing this a long time. Any fresh young talent you see coming up?
Yeah, there's some young talent coming up that are making some waves. I can tell you that Connor Zilich, he just got signed by Trackhouse. When he did what he did, the Trans Am deal, went out there and strapped it on those guys at VIR. He's obviously been running exceptionally well in the Trans Am TA2. He's been winning in the MX5 Cup, the Spec Miata stuff. He's a talented kid, and nice and well-spoken. And, he's had some great people helping him, and he's made the most of it. And I think he's one guy that is gonna really set people on their ears. And Brent Cruz, is right there behind him. Brent and Connor were the world karting champions out of Nitro Motorsports in the karting division. And I think they're the first United States world karting champions since Lake Speed. So there's two kids that are coming up that Ben Mayer seems to be doing a really nice job. You got Thomas Annunziata, who's now running an ARCA car. I mean, Jesse Love's got a quality ride with RCR. I mean, Corey Heim. I mean, you just keep throwing the names out there that haven't got to the to a slot in the Cup Series, but are making inroads in trucks and Xfinity. There's a lot of outstanding young talent and more coming behind it.
We did a preview at the beginning of the show, and I was amazed when I got my notes together yesterday on this, that how many swap changes in the Truck Series and the kids coming up. I think, and I had Spencer Boyd on before, Derrike, not to take anything away from the Cup or the Xfinity, but my favorite racing is the truck racing, man, because from the lap one down into the first corner to the last lap, it don't make no difference. I'll put a fender to you, and this is the way it is. And it just reminds me of going to Bowman Gray. It reminds me going to Hickory. It reminds me coming out here to the bull ring. You guys that put the time into those short tracks, I'm just telling you, it's just something that I really like. And that's what I like about the truck racing, man.
Yeah, the truck series, it is probably, I think, the best form for helping a driver to become really proficient because, you have to learn how to drive the car with the throttle and stay in the throttle, keep the momentum up. And, the car's a handful. I mean, with that, the bed on that thing way back there, I mean, when you get into you go in the middle of two cars, you better turn right because they're loose. And you got to learn how to drive them on the edge. And I think, if you want to make it to Cup, I think the truck series is some place that you really need to get some experience in. And if you can win there, then you have the capabilities to get to and win some races in Xfinity and get to Cup. And I think that that's definitely probably the greatest foundation you can start with.
Real quickly, last question. We'll get you going. We'll give you a final wrap up. What do you think about Haley Deegan leaving truck school into Xfinity? Is this a good fit? I'll get your opinion, and then I got something that I'll throw in on the topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think like anything, I think you go where you can get the exposure and you can get the opportunity and get laps. And I think for Haley, she's done a nice job. She's obviously, been had some misfortune with some wrecks and some things that's taken her out of some quality efforts. But you know what? When you get the opportunity and Ford will give it to you and you can go to the next series and get up there, you race with better people. You race with, more cars. There's more things going on, more aerodynamic things you'll learn with that car there that are more of a truck. Like a car instead of a truck. So you keep, I think you keep trying to put things in the database and you keep learning and that's what it's about. So I think it's a good move for her. She gets more experience and it's a little closer to the Cup Series and hopefully she can be very productive there. I know that Kevin Sawinski and those guys, they work hard and, that hopefully they'll have a good effort this year and she can make some inroads.
I watched her race in the ARCA series, Derek, and I watched her race on asphalt. And I actually watched her race on dirt out here when they took the ARCA series. They took them over to the dirt track, and she down to the last. It was about 20 to go. She ended up breaking a shifter or something. The car got locked in fourth gear. Sheldon Creed won the event. Haley was locked in fourth gear. If she'd have had 10 more laps to go, she'd have beat Sheldon Creed. The point that I'm getting to is that I watched her run that ARCA car and watched her drive in a different style. Then she got into the trucks, and it just didn't seem like the truck racing was her style. And, being caught in a wreck or this, you've been caught in wrecks, you've been doing this, all the drivers have. But I think this is going to be a better move for Haley because I think she's more adapted to a car than a truck. I've asked this question about, is there that much difference in a truck ride, a NASCAR Craftsman truck compared to an Xfinity or a Cup? Is there that much difference of driving? Some say there is, some say there isn't. What's your opinion?
Well, I think like anything, a race car is a race car, but they have such inherent characteristics that are different. The way the air spills off the car, how you peak them out to get a draw, so the thing will want to surge, in the draft. So it's a lot different, but you got to learn how to drive them, with wide open for a lot of times on like the first get-go lap. And now I think when you can take that where you're used to driving it in the throttle and you can go to a Xfinity car where now I think she'll be able to adapt to that, I think, pretty quickly. I think you're going to see her do a pretty nice job. And that team, they had some great runs with Moffitt in there. And those guys are no slouches there. Sawinski and those guys know what they're doing. And I think they build their own cars and everything. So they're committed. And hopefully she'll find a home and she'll have, pretty much all the resources dedicated to her.
There you go. Real quickly, our 30 minutes is up. We have the 1990 Daytona 500 champion Derrike Cope. I'm going to give you the last word. Anything that you would like our viewers to know? What's coming up? I know you said you got a couple of cats that you can't let out of the bag yet, but anything that, and of course, when news breaks, please send us a text because we'll send the satellite feed right back to you and we'll get right on it. So last word is yours, champ.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, we do have some exciting things coming about, and we're definitely going to be back in touch with you as soon as that we're able to spill the beans. But some I think people will be excited about hearing, and we'll move that along too. But I'm getting excited. Racing's about upon us. We got Speed Weeks coming up here. You got the roar before the 24 at Daytona, and I love Speed Weeks there. And then you got the 24-hour Rolex. So racing's getting started, and I love that. And I hope everybody else is ready for it too. And then we'll be on to Daytona.
Are you going to Daytona this year?
No, I'm gonna go down. Maybe watch some road racing here in the speed weeks. But I got a lot of stuff going on here right now. I got to get situated, and then we test in Sebring with the Trans Am cars Monday and Tuesday. So I leave this weekend for Sebring. So we're gonna do that. So we got a lot going on, and but yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it on TV though.
Here you go. I'm looking toward Gene's heading down. We were trying to work something out. So one of us goes, one of us stays.
I hear you.
Considering he owns the network and owns everything, so he gets to go. That's all right. He gets to go this year. I got 2 on my list for this year. Actually, 3 on my list this year, Derrike. I want to go to either for some motorcycle racing. I either want to go to Springfield or Sacramento to the mile. I want to see him run on the big mile. I've seen Speedway. Have you ever seen Speedway motorcycle racing?
I have. Oh, I love it. Yeah.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Really is.
I don't believe how long Gene lasted in it. And of course, his brother Rick was, the Hollywood kid, and I mean, he won and won and won for years. We lost Rick about, but it is. But Sacramento, I want to go to Sacramento or Springfield. My other one that I want to ask you: have you ever been to Knoxville, Iowa, to the World of Outlaw National Track up there? Because they say that facility is just unbelievable there.
I have. I took the first gas shock there when I had my shock company. I took my first gas shock there with Brooke Tadno and Troy Renfro with the Casey's General Store, World of Outlaws car. Made the race there and ran well. And so, I got a chance to showcase my products there. Back in heck, I can't remember when it was. But long time ago. But yeah, I love the Knoxville event, and that's quite a place. You need to go.
I want to go there. And then my last one that I want to get to, it just ended up, and next year it's on. In fact, I got it circled when the tickets come. Chili Bowl, man, down in Tulsa. I got to see the Chili Bowl, man.
I've never been, but with all these kids that we're dealing with right now, they're all running midgets. So I know that I'm going to have to make a chance, make an opportunity to go there, hopefully next year.
Maybe you can bring your wife and I'll bring my wife. We'll send them on to do something, and you and I'll sit and watch racing there. That sounds like a good.
Yeah, we might have to do that.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the 1990 Daytona 500 champion. There is only 2 times in NASCAR that you get to be called a champion. If you win the Daytona 500 and if you are the champion, and he is the champ. He is the 500 champion, Derrike Pope. Live from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's always my pleasure, my friend, to have you on this program. Please send your best to your lovely wife. And I think that might be, Derrike, I think I will keep up on the emails. I think we'll just book some tickets, get some airlines ready to go. The wives can go shopping, and you and I'll spend the days at the Chili Bowl, buddy.
That sounds good.
That sounds good.
Tell your wife we said we love her, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
You got it. Real quickly, Derrike, before I leave, social media, where they can reach out to you, anything that they need to do.
Yeah, just at Derrike Cope Racing and on Instagram. And you can look at DerrikeCope.club or racetheory.club for our website for all of our racing things that are going on, and a lot of our things about what we're going to be doing here shortly up on there too. But our ride-along programs, coaching, everything we're doing, speaking engagements, it's all right there on DerrikeCope.club.
There it is, man. And also don't forget to log on to Amazon to get the newest release. Cope. Right there, and it's all about Derrike Cope. My friend, thank you so much. God bless you. Love you to death, my friend, and looking forward to seeing you real soon. Let's mark it on the calendar. January 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th of 2024, or actually be 2025. 2025 of the Chili Bowl, okay?
All right, mark it down. All right,
mark it down. Let's get it. Thanks so much for joining us, Derrike. God bless you, my friend. We'll see you real soon. Yeah, there it is. Thank you very much. Derrike Cope joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the 1995 Daytona 500 champion, and we'll catch you real soon. Have a great guy, and we'll talk to you real soon. We'll take a quick final break and wrap it up. The Bond Pit Road Racing is live from Las Vegas, everybody.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where everything seems to move a little bit faster.
Like a lot faster. Like 200 miles an hour faster. It's more than a race. It's full throttle insanity.
The drivers aren't the only ones on the joyride.
Family, friends, and unforgettable moments. I'm talking full throttle mayhem. I'm talking NASCAR in Vegas. What could go wrong?
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless. Here, a lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You got to give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission. of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a nonprofit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Coming up for you, just about 20 minutes to the hour. Show number 1 of season number 14 is in the books, my friends. Oh, leaving Lenny right there, man. He's the official mascot of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. Don't forget, back at you Friday, 4 to 4:30. My good friend Scratch with a K, comedian, broadcaster based out of Daytona Beach, Florida, is going to be with us. We'll get you set up and ready to go. The Clash is coming up first. I just don't know about this. Some people, I saw a message today, came in and said, the heck with this thing in LA, man, just move it back to Daytona. Okay, we'll get your thoughts. We'll get Scratch's thoughts on that too. He'll join us Friday starting at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 7 o'clock back on the East Coast. Then Scratch will be back with me on Monday for a 1-hour show. Diane joins the program next Wednesday. She felt a little under the weather, right, Larry? Yeah, leaping. She woke up a little sore throat today, so we told her to stay home. Want to thank, obviously, Derrike, 1990 Daytona 500 champion. Thank you so much, Derrike. It's always great to talk to Derrike. Spencer Boyd, our good friend. I'd love to see Spencer be a contender. I think if he's got a good team, some good money behind him this year, he's a great racer, won in Talladega. I just think that it would be just great to see him contend this year for a championship. Top 10 at least. Next week on the program, Nancy Matter will be joining us from Texas. We'll go racing around the country with this hot rod little lady driving. She's got a brand new team coming up in the NHRA, forming a NHRA Top Fuel team. She'll join us next week. Jerry Bernardo is coming on board with us next week. Jerry, a good friend of this, friend of ours, a good friend of this program. Jerry was the host of ESPN2's Moto World. I was watching some film of Jerry back on YouTube. You talk about he was a nut. He was crazy. He was doing stuff that, I remember when Ricky Rackman came into NASCAR. He put Ricky to shame. Jerry Bernardo will be with us next week. We're going to feature the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. The 4th annual show is coming up. Right here are the shoes, folks. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a 501c3 nonprofit. Gene has purchased thousands of pairs of these tennis shoes. We have been going all over to churches, missions here in Las Vegas. We've been up in California. More things coming up for 2024. Our 4th annual event is coming up this next Saturday on the 27th. We're 10 days away. If you would like to be part of this program, the sponsors and everything you've heard in this show did not pay for advertising. They paid to help get these shoes. If you're interested in joining On Pit Road Racing, 2.1 million followers on the network, over 100,000 on its social media channels, we can get your product. All you have to do is reach out to us at onpitroadracing@gmail.com. Tell us that you would like to be a partner. We will get you the information. This is totally 100% tax deductible. 100% of your donation is tax deductible. We take no administration fees. We don't take anything like that at all. 100% of your money, whether you donate $100, $5, $1,000, $10,000, it doesn't make a difference. 100% goes to these shoes right here. They're called heart shoes. We get them out to men, women, and children. They're good for their health, for their mental. There's a lot of kids running around that are homeless right now, and we're helping these people out. We're helping them out. If you would like to help us out and get your product to 2.1 million, over 100,000 on the social media accounts. Tax deductible. Give us a shout on pitroadracing@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us Monday through Friday at 702-803-0875. So that's all you have to do. And we'll get you provide us a 30-second spot, and we'll put you in 45 weeks. And you're going to get some results on it. And you're going to be helping people. So don't forget that. Looking forward to the season. This is show number 1 of 45 weeks. We'll be going at it. Next week, special live performance from the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame will be at the Notoriety Nightclub next Saturday, January 27th. We'll be there for 3 full hours. Some of the best and greatest motorcycle racers of all time will be here. We're talking people like Kenny Roberts, Brad Lackey, Burt Lawwell, this year's National Honor Lifetime Achievement Award, Gene Woods. There'll be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them, and we'll be doing interviews with them. Don't forget, On Pit Road Racing extends to 3 days a week. Monday, 4 to 5 p.m. Wednesdays, 4 to 6 p.m. And Fridays, 4 to 4:30. Special wrap up getting you set for the racing weekend. Scratch with a K. Mr. Phil Cummings will be joining us on Mondays and Fridays. Diane will be back with us. Next week, our special guest, Jerry Bernardo from ESPN2 Motor World, and Nancy Matter from the Texas area. NHRA Top Fuel Driver. Going to be joining us next week. Want to thank Derrike Cope. Want to thank Spencer Boyd. Want to thank everybody here at the WCOBM. Always a great day. Want to thank all of our partners out there. So just make sure. Want to thank all the partners. Want to thank all the great people here at the WCOBM, Gene Woods, and the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. You are race friends. Join us here next week for On Pit Road Racing. We're next Friday, 4 p.m. for you. Scratch with a K joins us. We'll have a good show for you. It's live from Daytona Beach, everybody. John the announcer.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the announcer for On Pit Road Racing.